Who we got next on the list? Let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles, man. Let's get the
Ooh, the
Eagles out the way.
Super Bowl team. Old Philly.
Yawn,
Old Philly
yawn.
lucky. Old
I'm sorry,
Philly
Philly,
cheesesteak.
and the yawning that I'm doing because there's
Yeah,
nothing
I
exciting
mean, Philly.
about you besides your
Philly's not really the.
sandwiches.
Philly's one of those cities I don't make fun of. I
I'm
just go,
saying like
hey,
yawn.
I never know when I want to come and visit, and I don't want no problems from
Do you
Philadelphia.
ever really
I,
want to visit?
I want a
And as
cheesesteak
much as
from there, but
yeah, but that's it. That's what I'm saying. Only a sandwich. I get that
yeah,
passing through. It's just like no offense, and I love the Patriots, what they're doing. Well, I don't love them. I love Belichick, and I like what they're doing. But I can't even imagine a week in Boston. I would never do it. Like I just something
mm.
in my soul won't allow me to do
It's not
it.
Boston's
So,
not terrible. It's not bad.
hey, I'm sure Philly ain't all that bad either.
Yeah,
But something in
I
my
feel better
soul
about
ain't good.
Boston than I do uh, the hopeful about Philadelphia. But let's not bash on these poor brotherly loved whatever that's supposed to mean
Huh,
fans.
and I didn't even notice week one for y'all. We were sitting here talking about it. Huh. And now we talking about it. Season starting, or I said season starter, season opener. We got the Philadelphia Eagles against the New England Patriots. And I already picked the Patriots to win this game. Eagles
Mm.
Super Bowl hungover. They're distraught still. Good night. Mac Jones and the Patriots take care of business.
Well, I believe as long as the field condition's not slippery, then the Eagles should win this game pretty easily. I'm
Whatever
going,
excuse they need.
yeah, yeah. I've heard them all. It's the
Right.
referees. Magically, the
Right.
Patriots will have the
Right.
referees as well. So,
Tell them to wear the right cleats for the conditions.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. But give me
So
the Eagles in that one.
got you. I got the Eagles at 0-1 right now. And honestly, you're moving into 0-2. I think you lose to Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings. The playoff, I mean, the regular season Vikings are not to be trifled with. We know this for a fact. The only thing that worries me about this game is prime time. But Kirk
It is the
Cousins last year, he
time.
he's done well in one primetime game last year. He actually did set an NFL record. So, hey, we'll have
Hey,
to. I'm leaning on that. The greatest comeback in history. We got the Eagles 0-2 losing to the Vikings.
well, if we've learned anything, the last game we've seen of the Vikings was a primetime game, and that was a loss to the Giants. And I
Good
believe they're going to
night.
continue that tradition here of losing in prime time. The
But
Vikings
see,
have regressed this
this is
season.
regular season prime
Yeah,
time
I'm
though.
taking regular season primetime Hurts over Kirk
Hmm.
Duggins at 8:15.
Okay, got you. Well, Eagles fans, it's nothing to fret though, because you got at least 3 wins in a row coming. You get to play the Buccaneers September 25th, and I'm sure it's a consensus between us two that they win that game and moving them to 1-2 on my list. Then you move on to beat the Commanders the next week, which I already said you would, moving you to 2-2. And then after that, you get to play the Rams, which will move you on to 3-2 on the season. So
I think
a quick and immediate turnaround for you.
yeah, I don't know why I had you at. I think I'm marching one too many wins.
Yeah, no, they only got 3 wins on the season.
Yeah,
Bucks, Commanders, and Rams so far. And this is a sticky one. You get to play Ron and the Jets, Jalen. And honestly, who wins this game, man?
this is a tough one. This is
I
the
think
first tough choice in my opinion.
matter of fact, I think I went with the Eagles in this game. I think this was the Jets' first loss that I picked. I have to go back and see, but I like the Eagles in this game. That'll move them on up to 4-2 on the season.
I have them currently 6-0,
Ooh. See, I got them moving to 5-2 the next week when they play the Dolphins.
and I have them as the first loss of the season
Of course
versus
he
the
does.
Miami Dolphins.
Ooh, incredible.
Hey, I got to give
uh,
them a loss eventually, right? I feel like,
I can't understand. You hire on Miami, then you're on Washington. They finished with the same record, but luckily the
well,
AFC East wasn't as good as the NFC, and the Commanders couldn't get in while they was able to squeak in. But anyway, another story. We got the Commanders Eagles again. I already said they were getting swept. Commanders, you're swept. There's no doubt about it. Sweep season. They move
yeah.
on to 6-2 on the season. The Eagles are flying, and then they fly right into Dallas. And I believe I said they was going to split with Dallas, but I think I had them winning the second game. So you're going to lose this game, Philadelphia, because you're going on a little losing streak. You're going to end up 6-4 at the end of the stretch because after that you got to play your daddy, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles West, the Andy Reid, who's never lost to the Eagles since he's left. By the way, BTW. Every time the Eagles come to town or we go there, it's always a dub because he owns them. So there's that. You're 6-4 on the season, Mr. KC. Where do you have them?
6-4. I currently have them at 9-2 after
Ooh,
losing to the Kansas City Chiefs.
okay. Moving on. They pick up another win. Moving on to 7-4, beating the Buffalo Bills. And then you got a hard task ahead of you, which I think will come ahead, and you lose that game when you play the San Francisco 49ers. And that game, I don't really care who plays quarterback because I believe that the defense is enough to beat this Eagles team, let alone shut Jalen Hurts down. So the Eagles move to 7-5. Mr. KC, who you got?
I'm also going to choose the Niners, but I would note that if we've learned anything, the Niners defense was not enough to shut down the Eagles by
Well, that was
themselves.
last year. That was
Yeah,
last
because
year.
we seen them try that method, and it was not pretty.
Hmm. Yeah, that was last year though. We're not worried
Yeah, it
about that.
was last year. And they'll have a quarterback December 3rd.
Right. And moving on, you take your another L in a row here. You lose to the Cowboys. This is your split, like I said. It's just unfortunate, but it's just kind of what it is here. And next here, you win a shootout, a game that you probably really should lose, but you beat Geno Smith and the Seahawks, getting you your eighth win on the season. And I think Mr. KC is probably going to go with the Eagles in this one too here.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well with that one.
Gotcha. And this is where I believe is the hardest stretch of your schedule here because you got to play Vanilla Vic and the Giants, and I believe you lose this game. The Giants out for blood. They know. Remember what you did to them last year. Your defense ain't quite the same as it was last year. Even though you got some really good draft picks, but then again, are you going to act like they're going to be rookies that playing for Kansas City? You're going to trust them that much to do what our boys did? Or you're going to lose this game. And I'm pretty sure you're going to lose this game. I'm going Vanilla Vic and the Giants moving the Eagles to, for me, it's what now, 8-7 on the season.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah.
But
And
luckily, you get a bye week the next week because you get to play
right,
the Arizona Cardinals. That'll move you right on to 9-7.
yeah. And I'm there with you. I'm gonna split the Giants games. I think the Eagles win the first one, but lose the second one to end the season. And with that bye week in between with the Cardinals.
Gotcha. See, I got them winning the last one. I think they'll probably split with the Giants, and that'll move them to the same as Dallas, 10-7 on the season.
Yeah, and I think I have them same as Dallas at 12-5. So we both
What are the chances of that, dude?
right. Yeah, that is pretty
Well,
wild.
we see them the same, except for certain situations. Look, like I said, I mean, we'll have to see what's going on with the Eagles. Like I said, this schedule's considerably harder, in my opinion. It's not the cakewalk they had last year, so I'm not looking at the defense like it's the same. I mean, like I said, when you play a whole bunch of bums, you better be the number one defense in the NFL. So this schedule is really going to test their metal, and honestly, I almost want to retract this last one and move them to 9-8, but I really think the Commanders are going to be the only 9-8 team in the division. So I'm gonna leave them at 10-7 because they could honestly lose to the Giants twice.
It very well could happen. I would not be terribly surprised.